Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back at it again. Briggs and Brett today doing another pellet stove part replacement demonstration video. And today on the docket, we got a... What is it?
There's two things we gotta do, son. Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be doing an auger replacement on this VG130 Vogelzang.
Vogelzang?
Or a Zang. It's a pellet stove.
The Zang.
But anyway, we're going to go through it. It's a pretty easy process, but we're going to show you how to do it. These Vogelzangs are pretty much the same, but we're going to kind of go through like one little step, one little step, one little step, and hopefully it helps you at home, but please take a break. Help us help you and your family and your friends. Subscribe. Doesn't cost any money. Subscribe. No emails. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We're doing our best. So anyway, we're going to get to work on this thing, but let's have some fun. Take our time. Do a professional job, and let's have some fun. Let's go to work.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, friends, before you do any work on your pellet stove, you want to unplug. Wait a minute now. Hit the subscribe button. Help Briggs and I grow the channel. Okay, unplug the stove prior to doing any work. And if you feel uncomfortable doing any repairs on your pellet stove at home, call your local service provider. Let's go to the next step. Okay, friends, now here you go. Now these are the basic tools that you're going to need. Now if we go over to the power side, you got the impact gun with a Phillips adapter. I've got an extension here with a 1/4-inch adapter. That's fine. But if you want to go over to old school, which is fine, you can use a regular ratchet like this with a 10mm socket and a regular Phillips screwdriver. These are some snips. Snip, snip, snip. We may have to use these to cut off a zip tie around some of the wire harness when we do this repair. And so if you don't have snips, you may have to use another, like a pair of scissors or something like that, that may help you out. So let's go to the next step. Let's go.
All right, so for this step, we're going to be focusing on taking off this back panel right here. And so what you want to do, you want to take your Phillips. We're going to be taking off the screws one by one. You want to safely put them to the side. So when we're taking these screws off, as you can see, we have all this room to work with on our bench in the shop, and it's a little bit of a happier day for us. But when these things are installed in a typical household, you will not have this much room. You will have this hooked up to a pellet stove pipe right about here. It's either going straight out or it's going out and up and everything else, and depending on how close this is to the wall, you're going to be working in some tight quarters. So like my dad said before, just a little patience, don't give up, you'll do just fine. But just as a heads up, in a more home setting, this will be a little bit more difficult to reach to.
You know, son, it just drives me nuts. Now, I see these videos, which is fine. Everybody's got a different style, but what you said is reality. These stoves in your home are close to the wall, and you don't have a lot of space to work with. So you're going to have to get down on your knees or sit down on your bottom and kind of get back in there in these tight spots. But what we're going to do is give you kind of an easy one-by-step little instructional video like we're doing now, to where you can change out this auger motor. So anyway, I'm rambling, so let's go. Let's just do it.
There, come on right in. So also, right here, you're going to have full access to everything. If in your household it is a little too tight, you can also remove your stove away from the exhaust piping, turn your stove around, get some extra lighting like flashlights if you need, and then you could be just kind of like this in our shop, and it'll make the job a little easier. To each your own. Those are just some helpful tip strategies we got for y'all.
Where's the auger motor?
It's right here.
Okay, next step.
Let's do it. All right, let's start removing this auger motor.
Here we go.
So we're going to be focusing all right here, and we're going to be focusing on three things: the wires that connect it to the motor, the auger motor bracket that holds it right into place a little bit, and then also the cotter pin that actually holds this motor onto the shaft. So if we're going to go down here, we're going to be focused on removing these two wires. Dad, can you see those?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to carefully remove each one as so. And you want to be careful, folks, when removing those so you don't break any of the plastic parts on the motor itself. We're then going to be removing this bracket right here. You're going to be taking your 10 millimeter, either the manual way or the power way. There are going to be two nuts, one on the left side here and one on the right side over here. And we're going to be going in and gently removing each one as so. It's always that one that sticks a little bit. That's okay. We'll remove that later. Then we're going to take the bracket off just as so. And we'll put it to the side right here. So, one last step. We're going to be focusing now on removing the cotter pin right there. Can you see that?
Yep.
Perfect. So in here, enough light. I like using the glove for this part so I don't skin any part of my knuckles in here. And we're going to pull that cotter pin, if I can get a good grip on it, out. Just like that. Move that to the side.
What's that cotter pin look like? Can you show it to him? Put it in front of the camera.
Of course. It's right here.
Beautiful. Thank you.
We're going to take that out. Then we're going to nicely take out the auger motor as so. Okay, now we're going to put in our new auger motor, and essentially you're just going to be working backwards. So, if you come over here, I'll show you a quick tip.
There we go.
So, with your new auger motor, you're going to be aligning this hole that goes through this shaft with this hole that goes with this shaft. Now, what's nice, sometimes you can move this part just a little bit, which is nice so you can kind of align it to where you want, well, to put your new auger motor in. Now, when you order these auger motors, you'll notice that there's a flat spot on here. For certain models of pellet stove, this flat spot is essential when lining this up. For this one itself, you do not have to worry too much on the flat spot. It's more of the actual hole right there, because this uses more of the cotter pin rather than a screw that goes in and tightens down on the flat spot. So don't worry, folks. This one's not as necessary on this model. So we're going to come over here. We're going to line this hole with that hole right as so. Tuck it in there. And then we're going to grab our cotter pin. Place it right, which sometimes we need a little force here for this part. And it snaps in just as so. Do a little twist to check it, and we're golden. Now we can start putting on the bracket that holds itself. And then the point of this bracket, as you can see, holds this auger motor for when it turns so it doesn't do this. So this one holds the pin and the shaft together. This one prevents the auger motor itself from moving, and it's going to cause that corkscrew to start feeding the pellets. So I like to start hand tightening these nuts back onto the thread. Now, a lot of these stoves may have excessive sealant right here, which can get in the way. So you might need a little extra dexterity to hand thread these on. But once you start it, then you're ready to fully tighten it down as so. And that is all secure.
Remember, if you don't have that, you can use your regular ratchet. Go in here, zip, zip, zip. You can go the old-fashioned way.
And either way is fine. And before you seal up all this, don't forget to connect your wires down here. And for your wires, you'll notice two different colors, but it does not matter which side of the connections you do. You just want to make sure you actually make the connection with the male end and the female end. So sometimes when you try to connect these together, they may not go right in the center. It can kind of go off to the side or whatever, and people may think it's secure, but it is not fully of how it should be put on. So you just want to make sure they're connected right, so you don't have any possible problems in the future. Bonus clip. Dad, what do you got to share with people?
Am I on?
You are on.
Alright, now look, usually when you're at home, now Bricks did a great job just kind of showing you step by step how to take out this Auger motor. But a lot of times, here you are in your house, not with a fancy workbench and everything is 1, 2, 3, just beautifully done, easy peasy. No, this is reality. Most of the time you will use a ratchet and you got a tight spot here. So you're basically going to go in and boom, hit the first 10mm nut, the second one, take this bracket off, set it aside, go in, pull the cotter pin. See how close my arm is here to the wall? It's tight space. So once I take the cotter pin out, then I can just lower the auger motor out and then do the replacement, just the reversal. So it's done. Briggs and I, we are true technicians. We're giving you reality. We are in and out of every brand and model of stove since 1990. At least I have. I'm a lot older. But just follow along with us. We're doing our best to help you and your family. Let's go to the next step.
Alright, stay with us, folks. One last step is putting the back panel on. Just as so. And what's nice about these newer ones, they can just slide on right where the exhaust pipe is and the cold air intake just as so. And Dad, do you have anything else to add before we get to our final scene?
I always ask people to just stick with us from beginning to end so you don't miss any of the important steps when we're doing repairs. I mean, you can always replay, but just follow along with us. We're almost done here. And again, this is a VG130 Vogelzang, and it's pretty much the same technique for some of their other models when you change out the auger motor. So we're almost done here. Stick with us. We're putting on this back panel.
There you go.
There you go. And one more scene and we're done.
Alright, and that's it. You guys have a new auger motor in your Vogelzang pellet stove.
And your what?
The Zang.
The Vogelzang.
No. The Zang.
The Zang.
Okay. So real quick, folks, like my dad said, the subscriptions really help our channel. And we really appreciate all the support you guys have been doing us in the past so far and currently right now. And, you know, it means a lot to us. We've been doing this for a lot of years. My dad's been doing it more, obviously. But you know what? From all the experience and knowledge that we've gained, we love to share with you guys. And hopefully it just helps you down your own pellet stove journeys. Dad, what else you got to add for them?
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next video.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.